The case of Rex Heuermann has captivated the true crime community with its complex web of mystery, investigation, and alleged criminal behavior. As a central figure in one of the most notorious unsolved cases in recent history, Heuermann's story is a chilling example of how a single individual's actions can have a profound impact on a community. In this video, we will delve into the details of the case, explore the investigation, and examine the broader implications of this disturbing story. Rex Heuermann, born in 1964, was a successful architect based in Long Island, New York. He was known for his work in the field of architecture, and from the outside, he appeared to lead a relatively normal life. Married with children, Heuermann's public persona was one of success and stability. However, beneath the surface, he was living a double life that would ultimately lead to his involvement in one of the most infamous serial killer investigations in recent memory. Heuermann grew up in the suburbs of Long Island and attended local schools. He later studied architecture at the State University of New York at Buffalo, where he earned his bachelor's and master's degrees. Heuermann's career as an architect was marked by a series of successful projects, and he became a well-regarded figure in his professional community. Heuermann's professional life was seemingly unremarkable, with no indications of the dark side of his personality that would later come to light. He was married to his wife, Allison, and they had 2 children together. To those around him, Heuermann was a successful professional and a devoted family man. The Gilgo Beach murders, also known as the Long Island serial killer case, are among the most notorious unsolved serial killer cases in American history. The case gained widespread media attention due to the brutal nature of the crimes and the mysterious circumstances surrounding the identity of the perpetrator. The murders were first brought to public attention in 2010, when the remains of 10 to 16 victims were discovered along the Ocean Parkway, near Gilgo Beach, Long Island. The victims were predominantly women who had been working as escorts. The discovery of their bodies was a shocking revelation, and the case quickly became one of the most high-profile investigations in the country. Shanann Gilbert, 24, an escort whose disappearance in May 2010 led to the discovery of the other victims. Melissa Barthelemy, 24, who was reported missing in July 2009. Megan Waterman, 22, who disappeared in June 2010. Amber Costello, 27, who went missing in September 2010. The bodies of these women were discovered in a grisly and disturbing manner, and the investigation revealed a pattern of behavior that suggested the work of a serial killer. The investigation into the Gilgo Beach murders was initially complicated by the lack of evidence and the large area that needed to be searched. For years, the police struggled to find leads, and the case remained unsolved despite numerous efforts. In 2011, the police released a sketch of the suspected killer, based on the evidence gathered at the crime scenes. They also released a 911 call from Shanann Gilbert, which added a layer of mystery to the case. Despite these efforts, the investigation struggled to make significant progress, and the case continued to confound law enforcement officials. In 2023, the investigation into the Gilgo Beach murders took a dramatic turn with the arrest of Rex Heuermann. The arrest was the result of years of tireless work by law enforcement officers and a combination of new forensic techniques and old-fashioned detective work. The breakthrough in the case came through a combination of advanced forensic analysis and a renewed effort to re-examine old evidence. Investigators used DNA evidence, phone records, and other forensic techniques to connect Heuermann to the murders. One key piece of evidence was the use of genetic genealogy to trace the DNA found at the crime scenes to Heuermann. Investigators were able to link the DNA to Heuermann through a combination of public records and genealogical databases. Additionally, Heuermann's phone records and other evidence placed him in the vicinity of the crime scenes around the time of the murders. On July 13, 2023, Rex Heuermann was arrested at his home in Massapequa Park, Long Island, and charged with the murders of the 4 women. The arrest was a significant moment in the investigation, and it brought renewed attention to the case. Heuermann was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the deaths of Shanann Gilbert, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. The charges included allegations of premeditated murder, and the prosecution sought to establish that Heuermann had planned and executed the murders with a specific intent. The arrest was met with a mix of shock and relief by the public and the victims' families. For many, it was a long-awaited moment of justice, while for others, it was a sobering reminder of the brutality of the crimes. Following his arrest, Rex Heuermann faced a series of legal proceedings that would determine his guilt or innocence. The legal process was marked by a series of hearings, court appearances, and legal motions. Heuermann's initial court appearance was an arraignment, where he was formally charged with the murders and entered a plea of not guilty. The arraignment was a significant moment in the legal process, as it marked the beginning of the trial phase and set the stage for the subsequent legal proceedings. As of the latest updates, Heuermann's trial was still ongoing, with the prosecution and defense presenting their cases to the court. The trial was a high-profile event, attracting significant media attention and public interest. The trial was expected to be a lengthy and complex process, with the potential for significant legal challenges and high-stakes decisions. The outcome of the trial would have far-reaching implications for the victims' families, the community, and the broader criminal justice system. Heuermann's background as an architect and his public persona as a family man contrast starkly with the brutality of the crimes he is accused of committing.